The cheapest 2-bedroom flat in that location is 50 grand, 50, whereas the one that you're buying is £15,000. Now, if you do this as a very big calculation, so you do 15,000 and you divide that by 50,000, straight away, that is 30% of the actual market value, which means that you're actually getting that at 70% below market value. Hi guys, it's Arsh Ellahi here and welcome to today's video. And today what we're going to be concentrating on is how to find deals all over the UK and all over the country. Now, it's quite a broad topic. Now, if you're into deal sourcing, if you're into deal packaging, it's quite a hot topic at the moment. So, and we've got more and more deal packages and more deal sources coming out of the woodwork pretty much every day. Now, first of all, let's get into some of the questions that I hear every day. Is it really viable for you to be a deal sourcer? Now, the one thing that I say is that deal sourcing or being a deal sourcer is probably one of the most important things in your property journey. Whether you're looking to acquire properties for yourself, whether you're looking to acquire properties for other people, you still need to be able to go out and acquire properties. And if you get the skills of acquiring property correct from day one, you won't really have any issues, or should I say that you'll be able to acquire the better deals for yourself. Now, just giving you a bit of a background of my journey. So I've been involved in property for 19 years. So I've got quite an extensive portfolio. So I've got I've got 1,100 tenants. We've got a real mix of benefit tenants. We've got workers, not so many students, but and it's treated me extremely well. And in that portfolio, we've got a portfolio of rent to rents. We've got a portfolio of, we've started doing some service accommodation, well, more so for me, my own self personally, and we've got some holiday homes down towards Cornwall. We've got rent to rent, we've got SA, we've got development opportunities that we're currently converting. So we've built flats before from 20 flats upwards. We've got a small conversion of a 2-bedroom flat. We've got a conversion of a building going into 6 1-bedroom apartments, and in 2017 and 2018 I actually acquired the best part of 80 properties. 80 properties. So some people won't acquire 80 properties in their whole lifetime. I've done that in a span of 2 years, and that's only because I've been able to deal source and I've been able to find the deals that I want for myself personally, and the rest that I've seen or I've appraised and they didn't fit my criteria, I actually sold them onto other investors and I made a fee for that. And that is perfectly normal and that is perfectly legal. So what I want to show you today, guys, is how you can do this too. So first of all, where do you find deals all over the country? Now, there's lots of ways of marketing yourself to find deals. Now, one thing that if you're out in the property community, there'll be lots of people saying that you've got to write letters. There's lots of people that are saying that you've got to go out there and post leaflets. You've got to go to networking meetings. You've got to speak to landlords. You've got to find retiring landlords. You've got to find tired landlords. You've got to find motivated sellers. And these things are all correct. Now, let's just I'm not saying that none of these things are correct. But the one thing that I will say is that they can be time consuming. Now, the one thing that we want to do is try and get to the source of a property or someone that can bring you a number of deals day in, day out without you having to start writing letters, start commissioning the printing of leaflets and start trying to get them printed. Because to me, that seems like hard work. And more importantly, if I was to put it bluntly, if I was to write you a letter, first of all, how much information can I fit on one A4 piece of paper? Now, if I'm just going to give you a quick example, that's a blank A4 piece of paper. How much, after I've put your address on there, after I've put my address on there, after I've put the date and what I'm potentially writing to you about, how much more information can I put on there before I actually grab your attention? Chances are it's got to be pretty sharp and to the point, and it gives me little chance of building rapport with the seller. However, if I've got the opportunity to speak to them on the phone, I'm much better at converting the lead into a deal. Now, if you look at the word lead, L-E-A-D, and if you look at the word deal, They are exactly the same letters. All we need to do is play around with the letters and convert it from a lead into a deal. And this is something that I am fantastic at. I'd go as far as saying that I am probably one of the deal source in the country that deal sources the most properties as an independent trader. So, big claim, I know, but over the last few years, if we look at my success in 2018, we did 358 deals. In 2017, we did 483 deals. So that's the best part of 1,000 deals over 2 years. And these are properties that I've literally sourced, packaged and sold. I've got a system called the SPS system. SPS, source, package and sell. And these are all different kinds of properties. So they're buy-to-lets, they're rent-to-rents, they're lease options, they're development opportunities, there's service accommodation opportunities, there's land opportunities, there's industrial opportunities. So pretty much as a deal sourcer, you get to look at any style of property. Now, if it was for me and my own personal portfolio, at the moment my focus is blocks of apartments. If I was going there, I would only be going there with one narrow vision, which is I only want blocks of apartments. Now, as a deal sourcer, as a deal trader, I actually am able to look at everything with what is called a funnel vision. I learned that from a speed awareness course, by the way. Thanks for that, guys. So I look at everything from a funnel vision. So I can look at a property that is potentially a rent-to-rent opportunity. I can look at that because it may not be of interest to me personally, but I know someone else that will be of interest too. And as a result, we can monetize that lead. So today, what we're going to be looking at is how we can actually do this live and how we can look at properties. So you can literally pick up the phone to either an agent or a vendor direct and say, guys, okay, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is how I can help. Now, as a deal sourcer, one of the key things is your ability to be able to solve a problem. You are a problem solver. And once you start getting that in your mind, and once you start to look at things in a creative manner, there's no such thing as a dead lead. So if a vendor is in negative equity, that's not a dead lead. Now, prior to my ignorance or naivety, shall I say, in the year 2000 when I first started up. Now, I own a company called WeBuyPropertiesFast.co.uk. I was one of the first guys that set up on high street presence. This is actually my office. I've got actually a whole team out the front there who are closing in on deals and leads. And I'll give you a quick snapshot of that during this video. Now, you'll see that when I first started out, my vision was very simple. If the property did not suit a 25% below market value deal, I would literally have said, sorry, I can't help you because I'm looking at it from a commercial point of view. If your house is worth 100,000, really, I want to offer circa 70 to 75,000. And as a result, if it doesn't fit that parameter, I'll say, sorry, not for me. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Boom. But now thinking of all, I would say tens of thousands and hundreds of millions of pounds worth of property that I passed upon because of my naivety that I only looked at one strategy, whereas now I look at every strategy and I say, guys, okay, maybe I can't buy it below market value, but potentially I can add value because if it's in negative equity, it could potentially become a lease option. It could potentially become a rent-to-rent opportunity. And I create a solution and I create a real win-win scenario. A win for the vendor, a win for the purchaser, and also a win for us as well, because we've got to monetize every lead in order for our business to be sustainable. So let's start looking. So one of the easiest ways to get started very much is, again, let's not discount the fact that there are so many opportunities on Rightmove. Now, if you go into property forums, and there'll be some people in there, and they'll say, oh no, if a property is already on Rightmove, how can you monetize that lead? Fact is, that property is still for sale. The fact is that potentially you may be able to help to sell that lead. So not only does the vendor win, the estate agent also wins because they make a commission for selling the property. They think that you're the best thing since sliced bread because you've helped them sell that property. And the investor wins because they would have not have seen that deal without your intervention. Does that kind of make sense? So if someone says to you, but Arsh, okay, that property's on Rightmove. I said, yes, it was. But how would you have seen it otherwise? Now, just so you know, a lot of my deals are all direct to vendor. We get lots of deals where agents approach us there, Arsh, okay, I've got this property and I've not been able to sell it so far. Can you help us? And as far as I'm concerned, as long as the deal stacks, there'll always be someone out there willing to buy the lead or willing to buy the property off you. And as a result, you make your commission. The purchaser has bought a fantastic property. The vendor has sold their property. The agent has made a commission for the property from the vendor. You make your money off the buyer, and it works extremely well. So straight away, let's just say, for argument's sake, you've got to look at a couple of things. So when you're looking at a property, you've got to look at it from different angles. What is a property now? What is it can become? So if you're looking at a property, and let's just say, I don't know, let's just choose Blackpool for argument's sake. Blackpool, I don't know why we've gone to Blackpool, but it is what it is. So we'll choose Blackpool, and we'll go to the area, and we'll keep all the parameters completely open. The reason why I say that is because I want to look at sorting it from the lowest price first, and there'll be so many opportunities. So I'll tell you what we should have done. There's lots of garages, so there's a property for sale, property to the rear of, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll put in a slight parameter to make it slightly easier for the purpose of this video. We're gonna want terrace, we're gonna want semi-detached, we'll even want some flats. We just don't want the land, or we don't want the park homes. So as a result, let's just have a quick look. We're going to put the filters in. So it's the lowest price first, and you'll come across lots and lots of properties. So you'll see lots and lots of properties. So there's studio flats for sale. There's 2-bedroom flats for sale. There's a 2-bedroom flat going into or sold at auction for £15,000. Now, the one thing that you could actually do, so we've got a property here. It appears that the whole building is being sold. So we've got flats number 1. We've got a 1-bedroom flat, a first floor flat. We've got a second floor apartment. Potentially there may be a ground floor apartment. And as a result, we can start to have a look at blocks of apartments in Blackpool. There are loads of apartments for sale in Blackpool. Let's just give you an example. Two-bedroom mid-terrace house. Sorry, I'm just trying to. I'll find an example here. Let's quickly go back to this one. So the one that went into auction sold for £15,000. Now, unfortunately, we haven't got a great deal to go on. We've got the fact that there is a property. It's number 203 Dickinson Road in Blackpool, £15,000. Now, the one thing that I would have done, if you know, the first thing that you can do, guys, and one thing that I should have said is that you can actually create, for all those watching on this, you can actually create an alert. You can create alert, and as a result, you can create alert. So you may need to just filter out the parameters so it's a little bit more specific as to what you're after. You can create alert, you put your email address in, and as a result, Rightmove will email you everything, every time a property comes up which is specific to your requirements. And you know, with all due respect, I get hundreds of notifications every day. So here we've got the 2-bedroom flat. Now we know the beautiful thing with this is that it's given us most of the address. Now the first thing that we do, we find the postcode for this address. So we've seen it's FY1 2HQ, and then the next thing that we do, very simply, is that we know that it was being marketed at £15,000. The next thing that I want to do is that I want to go to the house prices tab, which is in Rightmove. And the reason why house prices is a really important tool is because this is tracked back to the land registry site, showing you the properties that have actually sold in this location. So if we go back now, so we're only looking for flats at the moment, and as a result, we'll look at this area. And if you want, we can look at a quarter of a mile. Flats all within, let's have a look within the last 2 years. So we're keeping it. The cheapest flat in that location, so the cheapest flat was 43,000 in 2017, but that was a 1-bedroom, and that looks like a house conversion. And then there's another one that sold for 61,000 in November 2017. So straight away, this is telling me that at £15,000, this is cheap. Now, a couple of things that we don't know, and for the clarity, is that we don't know the condition, we don't know the reason for sale, but these are the reasons why you now pick up the phone to the agent and say, guys, okay, I understand that you've got the properties that you're looking to sell for 15,000. The reason for me contacting you is because I'm interested. You know, if this is as good a deal as you say it is, you know what, I'm either buying it myself or I've got someone that I know that will buy it from you at that price. I make my money from the buyer, you guys make your money from the seller, everyone wins. You know, the agent's motivation is very simple. They want to sell the property. Do they care who they sell the property to? Do they care if it's me? Do they care if it's Joe? Do they care if it's Ron? Or do they care if it's Tracy? Absolutely not. All they're conscious of, or all they want to know, is the person that's going to be buying the property, that they can proceed, that they can complete on the deal, and everyone wins. And that's a key thing, is that there's no point you going into every agent and saying, guys, my name is Mike. I'm only after properties at 25% below market value, because guess what, guys? You know what? They hear that every day. Do you not think that they've become immune? And if, pardon my French, do you not think that they've become immune to the bullshit? My name is Mike. I'm after properties. I will buy any of the properties that in need a refurb, but I will only offer 20% below market value. They'll say, okay, Mike, yeah, thank you very much. Leave us your card, leave it on the table there. And the moment that Mike walks out of the office, guess what? They're picking it up and they're sticking it straight in the bin. I see it time and time again. Never get yourself into a situation where you're going to be in a bidding war. Never get yourself into a situation where you're negotiating on price in meeting number one. These are key things that people don't tell or don't talk about, but these are key indicators as to how you get deals over the line. So this guy, if they want 15 grand for this flat, is there any benefit in you going in and saying that I want 20% below market value? It's already below market value. How much more below market value do you want? Now, I put out deals every day, and I'm almost flabbergasted when I get an email and said, Arsh, we know that it's 20% below market value, but can you get it us any cheaper? And at that point, I do exactly the same as the agent does. I press delete on that email. I've got lots of people that will buy it at the price that we state it as. And the agents want someone that's going to move quickly. And you've got to do exactly the same. So going back to this guy now, going back to this agent, we've got the postcode. It is FY1 2HQ. Now, the next thing that we'll do is literally go back to Rightmove. And if you go back into, instead of having the filter as Blackpool, you put in the actual postcode, and you can see that there, and you create your parameter because you now know that you're looking at a 2-bedroom flat. So instead of looking at all the other houses, you're looking at a flat. And if you want to go, you go a quarter of a mile out. The cheapest 2-bedroom flat in that location is 50 grand. 50, whereas the one that you're buying is £15,000. Now, if you do this as a very big calculation, so you do 15,000 and you divide that by 50,000, straight away, that is 30% of the actual market value, which means that you're actually getting that at 70% below market value. Now, if you can show me anywhere that we've just found this online, you're seeing everything that I'm scrolling through, and there's a reason why it's probably sold at 15 grand, but we'll need to speak to the agents to understand what that is. It may be that it may have a defective legal pack. It may be that there's subsidence in the property, but these are all the things that we can count for after. We're not saying, yes, we're going to buy it straight away, but we're saying, yes, we're interested in it. So guys, hopefully you found, that quick session as to how you can find deals all over the country. We've just seen one deal within a space of 10 minutes, and I've started from scratch. And this is exactly what you guys should be doing. And once you become receptive to the idea of finding properties, and once you become receptive to the idea that there is a deal out there for every minute that you search, you watch how they start coming in your way. And then when you start looking at them saying, oh, I like that one, or I like it, but it's not for me, you'll see how many deals. And as a result, this is where we start building your own property portfolio, or we start building your property deal sourcing business. Hopefully you've enjoyed the session. As always, if you do, give us a quick thumbs up or quick thumbs down if you don't like if you like or you don't like the video. More importantly, leave some comments below. If you liked it, if you've got some questions, feel free to ask some questions, or if you want, you can go to my website, which is www.arshellahi.com. And you can leave us a web inquiry there. And also, the one thing I would say is feel free to add me on your social media. So if you look in the comments or in the description below, it'll have a link to all my social media feeds, and it'd be great to get in contact and let's get social. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the session. I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.